to the East Greenbush Virtual Honor of Vet Ceremony. I am Bobby Reno, the East Greenbush Town Historian and also a member of the Marine Corps League. With the coronavirus pandemic, we are holding virtual ceremonies for the Honor of Vet until we can meet again in person. I am the organizer for the town of East Greenbush for the Honor of Vet ceremonies. Now, I would like to introduce Jack Conway, East Greenbush Town Supervisor, who will be host of this program.
Hi, I'm Jack Conway. I'm the supervisor for the town of East Greenbush. Thank you, Bobby Reno. Bobby, is, as she said, is our town historian, and she's the one who created our Honor of Veteran program and continues to organize it. So thank you, Bobby. We're here to honor Lieutenant Colonel George Cole Reese. What a career in the military, 20 years in the United States Army. He won more medals than you could shake a stick at. He won the Bronze Star, the Meritorious Service Medal, the Air Medal, the National Defense Service Medal, Meritorious Unit Citation, Combat Infantry Badge, Parachute Badge, Ranger Tab, Vietnam Service Medal, Vietnam Cross of Gallantry with Palm, Vietnam Campaign Medal, and the Armed Forces Medal. So, in his 3 tours in Vietnam, in his service in other parts of the world, George Reese is what you call a hero. He's a person who gave this country so much. Very, very few people have made the contribution that he has. And we do this Honor of Veteran program because we want to say thank you. We want to say to people, we know who you are, we know what you did, and we know that we only have what we have because of what you did, the sacrifices you and your family made. And even this is not enough. We can say thank you, we can hold ceremonies, but what we really need to do is to cherish the contributions you made. And in your case, George, it was just spectacular what you did for this country. And then to spend 22 years at LaSalle as an instructor, you can't top it. But I will tell you this. Can you edit this part?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
One thing we find when you find people who are so heroic in the military, you almost always find that after their life in the military, they continue to do things that serve a community, and George is no exception. He had, other people after me, other dignitaries will speak, and they'll go through the specifics of George's biography, his 4 children, let me make sure I get this right, his 10 grandchildren and 5 great-grandchildren. That's quite a legacy. And I want to say hi to his son Dave because we're buddies. But I do want to emphasize again, every step we take, everywhere you go in this country, and you're free, it's not an accident. It didn't just happen, and it won't continue to happen unless we protect it. And the only way to protect it is through sacrifice, through service, and through the fact that America yields incredible human beings like George Cole Reese. So I want to thank all the dignitaries you're about to hear from. We call them and they respond instantly. They all want to participate in this. They have the same feeling that I do, that you have to say thank you. And Bobby Reno setting up an Honor of Veteran program, it formalizes that commitment. It allows us to say thank you in a kind of ritual setting. When there's no COVID, we do it on a monthly basis. We do it in town hall. Everybody comes. I wish we could do that now, but we can't. But we're not going to stop. We're going to soldier through, if I could use the pun. We're going to make sure that people like George Cole Reese are never forgotten. So, George, thank you so much for your service. Thank you for your contributions to our community. Thank you for the beautiful family you have raised. And above all else, thank you for your dedication and your service. We live free because people like you are heroes.
America's veterans embody our nation's spirit of strength through service. It is indeed my privilege to honor Lieutenant Colonel George Cole Reese for his enduring gift of service to our nation. Enlisting in the United States Army in 1957, Lieutenant Colonel Reese served 3 tours in Vietnam. For his valor and selflessness, he was awarded a dozen medals, including the Air Medal, the Combat Infantry Badge, Vietnam Gallantry Cross, and the Armed Forces Medal. After 20 years of military service, Lieutenant Colonel Reese was honorably discharged in 1977. He continued to serve our community and nation, for that matter, for another 22 years as a senior ROTC instructor at LaSalle Institute in Troy, working to inspire our next generation of leaders, our next generation of citizens, and service members. He stands as a true beacon for us all. Lieutenant Colonel Reese, thank you for your service.
Hi, my name is Kelly Hoffman, Vice Chair of the Rensselaer County Legislature. It is a great privilege to be invited to participate in honoring George Reese with you today. As a member of the legislature, we take pride in celebrating the lives of our veterans each month. Unfortunately, due to COVID, this has delayed these events. However, we're glad to see that East Greenbush has found a creative way to continue this tradition. I'd like to thank Bobby Reno for coordinating this, and to Supervisor Jack Conway, Deputy Supervisor Tina Tierney, and the rest of the East Greenbush Town Board for inviting us to participate. George certainly had an interesting life. I'm glad that after moving around from several places, East Greenbush was the place George decided to call home. As a member of the United States Army, George was highly decorated and a member of our military who served our country with great distinction, and finally being honorably discharged with the rank of Lieutenant Colonel. George continued his service by teaching our youth the values he carried with him at LaSalle Institute. I can't think of a better place to impact the lives of our youth than with the experience and values that George had. I am sure they learned so much from his experience, something that will remain in their minds and their lives forever. On behalf of myself and the members of the legislature, I'd like to thank his wife, Dorothy, his children, George, David, James, and Robert, for sharing their husband and father with us. I wish George was here to experience today's events. I'm sure he would be humbled, yet grateful. Please know our hearts are with you and your family as we celebrate his life and his contributions to our country. Now it's a great honor for me to introduce my colleague and friend, Legislator Tom Grant, to say a few words. Thank you.
Thanks, Kelly. Our thanks to Town Historian, East Greenbush Town Historian Bobby Reno, Supervisor Jack Conway, Deputy Supervisor Tina Tierney, and the rest of the town board for allowing us to participate in this ceremony due to COVID. Our thanks to the Reese family for allowing us to recognize and honor the many accomplishments of Colonel Reese. We live in challenging times. We just come off of an insurrection that occurred at the federal Capitol, and we're living in such a challenging world that we really, really need heroes more than ever. Colonel Reese, make no mistake about it, was a hero in every sense of the word. Our community has been greatly diminished by his passing. However, his many accomplishments live on. 20 years of decorated Army service, followed by 22 years at LaSalle Institute as the senior ROTC instructor. In his over 2 decades at LaSalle, he positively impacted the lives of thousands of boys and their families. Many of the boys who have grown up now into adulthood always remark on what the lessons were that Colonel Reese instilled upon them. He instilled upon them a sense of discipline, a sense of deportment, and probably most importantly, a sense of comportment. That's an old-fashioned word, meaning that how you basically conduct yourself. Do you conduct yourself in a civil manner? How do you interact with other people respectfully? And basically how you carry yourself. And again, in these difficult times, those lessons are more important than ever. Colonel Reese lived his life by those precepts. We thank him for his service. We thank his family for allowing us to participate in this ceremony as well. We thank his family for allowing Colonel Reese to serve our country both in our local community, in our nation, and abroad. What a remarkable man he is. We surely, as I agree with Chairwoman Hoffman, we certainly wish that Colonel Reese was with us today, but we appreciate what his legacy has been throughout the years, and his legacy will always be remembered. Again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Rensselaer County Executive Steve McLaughlin. It's my honor to join veterans, residents, and Supervisor Jack Conway to honor one of East Greenbush's best, George Reese. George Reese provided a lifetime of service to our country and our county with the U.S. Army, beginning in 1957 with postings literally around the world. He served 3 tours in Vietnam, was airborne and Ranger certified, and part of the fabled Special Forces. In other words, a soldier's soldier. Following his service with the Army, he started a second career as Colonel of Cadets at LaSalle Institute, where he shaped generations of youth, including members of my own staff and colleagues in county government. Words are not enough to express our appreciation for the service of our veterans and their families. And that is especially true in the case of George Reese. However, let me try. On behalf of the people of Rensselaer County, my sincere thanks to his wife, Dorothy, and sons George, David, Jim, and Bob. We will never forget his service and sacrifice to our county and country. Thank you.
Okay. Once again, I'm Jack Conway. I'm the supervisor for the town of East Greenbush. And I just want to conclude this program by thanking Bobby Reno again, by thanking all the people who just spoke, who took time out of their incredibly busy schedules because this matters to them as it matters to us. The United States of America is the greatest country on earth, the greatest country there's ever been, and it is absolutely, unequivocally no accident. We had to earn it, we had to keep it, we have to protect it. And as you heard from all of the speakers on this video, George Cole Reese is the kind of person, is the reason that we're still here and we're not going anywhere. And in the town of East Greenbush, we're very proud of him. We're very proud of his family. And we hope if you watch this, you got this sense of that people like me who are elected officials, we have so many responsibilities to do our jobs. In my case, to ensure public safety, to make sure the water's clean, sewage gets where it's supposed to go, the roads are plowed and paved. We have these very specific and precise responsibilities. But it's incumbent upon us to understand the big picture, to understand how these things fit into a society where we're free, where we're not, nobody's telling us how to live. We are free to live as we live. And every time that gets challenged, every time that gets threatened, we step forward and some number of us just march out to the front and do the job. And George Cole Reese marched out to the front for 20 years, won, as you've heard throughout this presentation, won so many medals, was so brave, was so heroic. George, thank you so much. I don't even have the words to say what I feel and how grateful we are to you. So on behalf of the people of the town of East Greenbush, thank you for your service. And long may you run, because You have done so much.